Hello, I'm Dr. Vicki Billman. I will be your instructor over the next 4 weeks. I look forward to working with you. But you need to learn a little bit about me first, so let's take a little journey. You ready? Let's go. Right now, in addition to teaching at Full Sail, I have a company called websiterx.com where I provide internships for students and we develop websites and are webmasters for local organizations. A passion of mine that's near and dear to my heart is Tails Are Wagging. What it is a foundation to love, spoil, and rescue pets. I have an Akita right now. She's laying down here on the floor beside of me that we rescued from the Akita Rescue Society of Florida. She happens to be our third Akita. So we started this foundation. It provides information to pet owners and provides products and a market to get questions answered and services. And all the proceeds go to support the Akita Rescue Society of Florida. It's funny and a bit bizarre sometimes how things turn out. As a result of the Tails Are Wagging Foundation, uh, we found that there were 7 stray kittens out behind a house of someone that we were helping in the neighborhood. And we, over a 2.5 week period, we rescued all 7 of the kittens and the stray mother and father who we had neutered and spayed and put up for adoption. Well, in the interim, we have fallen in love with all 7 of these kittens. And the one you're looking at right there, his name is Jiminy. Jiminy and his six-pack are all 7 of the cats that are now just a little over 4 months old. We've had them since they were 3 weeks old, and they'll be living with us. This will be their forever home, and we're in the middle of remodeling our house to accommodate them. So if you get a chance, go look at Jiminy and his six-pack on the website. They're absolutely precious. As I mentioned earlier in my introduction, I also use the computer for my artistic side. I have a photography and fine arts company called My Mind's Eye, where I like to think that we capture memories that last a lifetime. Everyone has roots. So let me back up just a moment to the beginning of where my journey started. I'm originally from West Virginia, from a little town called Mudsuck Holler outside of Charleston, West Virginia. Although I did not attend WVU, I'll be forever a Mountaineer fan. Go Mountaineers. Long before my educational career began, I started out in business. I started out as a midnight clerk at 7-Eleven and worked all the way up to district manager. I worked at 7-Eleven, Southland Corporation for quite a many years. And I like to say I cut my teeth in business at 7-Eleven. It was a wonderful, wonderful learning experience. One thing I am most proud of is my education, my own personal education. I was blessed enough to be able to attend Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia for 4 degrees. And I'll be forever, ever grateful for that. I have a Bachelor's of Science and a Master's of Science in Accounting. I have an EDS in Educational Leadership and a doctoral degree, EDD, in Educational Leadership. It was a blessing every step of the way. The things I learned, I apply every day, and it forces me to continue on my journey to improve my skills so that I can help students achieve their dreams. I often like to say it took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to be when I grew up. After my experience at 7-Eleven, I was an air traffic controller at the Federal Aviation Administration. I started out in Memphis, Tennessee, working the Federal Express Airlines, and then I ended up in Washington, D.C., uh, working airplanes at one of the busiest airspaces in the entire world. It was a fabulous experience. I cherish every moment of it. The things I learned, most people never even get to think about. So being an air traffic controller was absolutely fabulous. You'll have to ask me about it sometime. There's a lot of good stories. I think I must have always thrived on a little bit of pressure and a little bit of stress without actually knowing it, because after my experience at the FAA, I took an early retirement and I became an accountant and a financial advisor stockbroker, finally getting to use some of that early education from Liberty. The stock market in New York was absolutely everything that you think it may be. The action is fierce and fast, and working on Wall Street was absolutely amazing, but it will burn you out, and I'm glad that experience is behind me. Although my early education was in accounting, and it's very necessary, and balance sheets and financial statements and all of that data and information is very relevant and very necessary, I did not find it to be as challenging and as enjoyable to me as some of the other things I had done. Um, but it was a learning experience and another one that I'm glad I got to do. After I literally almost woke up one day and realized that what I was intended to do was teach, um, I immediately started on that journey. I was a professor at Tidewater Community College for 7 years, and that was like one of the number one community colleges in the nation and the number one in Virginia at the time. It's a wonderful school, and it was a great place for me to start my teaching. Another early teaching experience for me was the University of Phoenix. They opened a campus in Virginia Beach, Virginia, where I lived, and I became faculty there and progressed to School of Business area chair, which was a tremendous opportunity to get to be part of the faculty development and the hiring and training and curriculum development. It was a wonderful experience. Hampton University is one of the premier research universities in the country, and especially in Virginia, where I lived. I was blessed to become part of their faculty and moved over to teach in their online degree program. And it was a great experience. I taught there for about 3 years until we moved away from the area. Hampton University was another diverse experience for me, and I learned a lot and take it with me. You never know when blessings are hiding just around the corner. When I first moved to Florida in early of 2015, I applied for and was hired to be the director and teacher at the Villages Charter High School Computer Science Academy. I had a wonderful group of students. You're looking right there at the first graduating class of the Computer Science Academy. They learned Java, Python, HTML, web development, database development, and every single one of these moved on to college, different colleges. This young lady sitting right here at the very back went to Florida Polytechnic. It was a wonderful experience for me, and I'm glad I got to be part of these young people's lives. Just prior to being privileged enough to be asked to join the team here at Full Sail University, I was at the University of Florida. I was in the Center of Online Innovation and Production, developing their online course curriculums. Um, it was a great learning experience. It's nothing like Full Sail. I'm blessed to be at Full Sail. Being a part of a large Tier 1 university like University of Florida was all the reinforcement I needed to know that I needed to move on to a more flexible, real-world educational environment such as Full Sail. Now, finally, no description or introduction of me would be complete without coffee. I love coffee. I like to fancy myself as a professional coffee drinker. I start the day with coffee and end the day with coffee. So, one tidbit to know, if anybody says one thing that you could tell them about Dr. Vicki, it's my love of coffee. Now let's get to work and let me find out some things about you and help you on your journey.